Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Elaine with the Crafty Hen House, and today I have you in my craft room, and we're going to be making some fake bake cookies, but we're not going to be making them for display on the counter or under a glass dome. I'm actually going to make them as an ornament that you can hang on a tree. I have a miniature tree. It's about 16 inches tall that I have in my family room, and every season I change the decorations, whether it's Christmas, Valentine's, 4th of July. I put shamrocks for St. Patty's Day. And I also did a video about a year ago of when I decorated my little tree with Easter decorations. So what I'm going to be showing you today is these are fake bakes. They're the cutout fake bakes that we do with the Model Magic. And this is a little mason jar. I have an Easter egg. I have a hen. And I also did a small little bunny rabbit. And instead of just decorating these normally, how we do it with the frosting, I created a blending of paints. And you've probably seen this done on canvas before, where they take the paint and they pour it in a little cup, and then they stack the different color paints, lift the cup up, and it blends down across the canvas. Then you can maneuver the canvas and create a beautiful, beautiful color arrangement. And they're just stunning. Some of the colors that they use are just amazing, and you can get very artistic with them. Now, I did the same process with these fake bake cutouts, and let's get started, and I'll show you how I created these for my little tree. Some of the items you're going to need to create this cookie cutout for as an ornament is you're going to need your Model Magic clay, which comes in a pack. You're going to follow my instructional video that I have posted up prior to this one, and you'll see exactly how to do the cookie cutouts and make your own cutouts, the drying time that it requires. And if you love it as much as I do, you will have a plethora of cutout cookies that you're going to put in a container, and you're going to just hold back and figure out how you're going to decorate these fake bake cookies. So of course you're going to need your cutout cookies, which have already been dried and set. So you have to let them set for like 5 days, and before you can add the paint, because the paint will hold in the moisture, and you want these to dry very good. You're going to need to choose your paint colors. Now here I have pink, I have a teal, and I have a white, and there's just a smidge of green. And I use a number of different types of or manufacturers paint. This is Delta Ceramicoat. This is a lima green. We have an Anita's craft paint here. This is more of like a lilac color. And we have a pink. This is a deeper pink than the one that I used for the egg. This was a little bit of a lighter pink. And then I have a nice Easter blue and a white. You're going to want a lighter color so that you can really show some depthness to when you're adding the colors of paints. And you're also going to need some satin ribbon or some type of ribbon or yarn that you're going to have as a hanger. I also use a wooden dowel. This is what will create the hole in the top of the cookie. And water, paper towels, and some place to let them set and dry. I like to have a couple cookie cutters on hand, and I'll show you how I use them. I make like a triangle and set the cookies on them so the paint can drip down the edges. You can get a nice color coverage around the edges. So let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to decide what color paints that you want to use. And I'm going to do this little chick right here. And last time I used the pink, the green, and the white. And you're going to see that you're going to get little air bubble holes in your paint project, but that's okay. It just gives it some character, and you have to remember that this Model Magic clay holds moisture, and we're only gonna use this paint on the top of the cookie. If you use the acrylic paint on both the top and the back, it's going to create a vapor barrier, and your cookie paint is going to pull away from the cookie itself because the cookie will hold the moisture. It takes forever and a day for Model Magic to dry, so you don't want to completely cover the entire project with this acrylic paint. So let's go ahead and begin. Now, I did forget to mention to you, I get 3 pins, the larger pins, and we're going to find a strategic location and just put the pin in, you know, about 1/4 of an inch in through the side. This is going to give us the opportunity to use the paint and without touching the cookie and smearing the colors. So let me get this. We're also going to have a paper plate that I've taken some of my metal cookie cutters or plastic cookie cutters. It doesn't really matter. And let me get some smaller ones here. And what you're going to do is once your paint is to your liking on your fake bake cookie, we're going to go ahead and we're going to set the pins on the cookie cutter just like this, so that the cookie is not resting on the cutters themselves, but they're being elevated by the pins so that this paint can settle and drip over your edges and you'll get full coloration. So let me move my plate and we'll get started with the paint. Now, it doesn't matter how you do your paint, whatever you decide, there's no wrong reason or order that you put your paint in. You can put it in any order you choose. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to use the white first. This one I used the green first. I'll use the white first on here. And you want to shake it up well. And we're just going to take our paint. Make sure if you have any big pieces of paint on the top of your bottles or any clumps inside your paint, you want to have nice fresh paint so you don't have any of the clumping that falls on your cookie. So then you're going to go ahead and I'm just going to take this paint and we're going to squeeze it over top, kind of in a about the size of 1/4, and it's pretty thick when I put it on. Then I'm going to go with green, shake it up, check my top for any clumping, and we'll go ahead and we'll put the green. Put a little bit at the top here. And then I think I'm going to choose blue. I did green, white, and pink here. I'll use the blue. Now you can use any colors you want. You can use black or brown or metallics. It's strictly up to you. As much or as little as you want. Okay, and now the blending begins. We don't touch the cookie at all. What we're going to do is simply pivot the cookie and move the direction and let the paint drip over the edges. Not quickly, because we want there to be a nice design, and so that it drips down all over the exposed cookie. Now, if you find that there's a place that's not getting enough paint, you can add a little bit more. Maybe you want some different colors on there. I'm trying to turn it so that you all can see. I mean, they're just really, really pretty. And as you can see, it's starting to blend. And the pins will really help you to maneuver your cookie so that you can really get some movement in your paint. So let me set it down, and I think I'm going to get some yellow. I think that would be really pretty. Let me get this bright yellow. We'll put some yellow up towards the beak. Put a little down here by the feet. And I'm going to do a little bit through the center. And if you have paint that maybe is a little older and you need to add a little bit of water to the paint, that's fine as well. Now you can see we're getting some really nice coverage. And if your paint needs a little bit of help going around the edges, don't be afraid to take another pen and spread the paint just by tapping it. Just tap the paint along and help it cover those edges that you're not getting full coverage. And if you don't want full coverage, that's fine as well. There's no wrong way, but you can tap your paint. You can add a little bit more. It's strictly up to you how you want your project to appear. And now I'm going to take this and see if I can get the center drip to go straight down through here. I like how that's looking right there. Oops. The paint's very forgiving. So you just don't want to smear the paint so that it blends nicely. Let me get a little bit more pink on here. I'll put a little pink on his foot. This one might be out. Let me use the lilac. I'm going to add a little bit of this lilac to his foot and maybe to the top there. And you can do little dots and drips. There you go here. And I think that I'm pretty happy with how this is right now. So once you've gotten your paint on, if you have any large air bubbles, you can just take the tip of your pen and pop them. You can also tap your cookie on the table just by simply going like this with your pen, and that will help the paint go over the edges as well and drip. The thicker the paint, the longer it's going to take to dry, but we have pretty good full coverage all the way around. And now is I'm going to wipe up some of this paint, and what I'll do is then I'll take this cookie and I'll set it on the cookie cutters to keep it elevated, because you don't want your cookie to be stuck to the paper plate. So let's do that. And I'm going to position my pins, make sure they're spread far enough out And we're just going to set that on the tray. And there you have it. And if you want to, like, I want to touch up his little beak right here, I'm going to add a little bit more that drapes over the edge, because I didn't get full coverage. And you can do that, and that will drip. And I would let this sit for at least 2 to 3 days until it's completely cured and set up. But isn't that adorable? I can't wait to show you when it's dried. But now what I'm going to do is I have one that I completed, this little bunny, and I will show you how I add the string. Get my razor blade and get this paint off. That's why it's so good to have one of these little glass pieces. Your paint dries really quickly, and I just take a razor blade, and you can get rid of all this excess paint. So this is a little bunny that I had done before. And what you want to do is you want to take your wooden dowel and find a place where it's the level location. Like with this mason jar, it was directly in the very center of the top. You don't want to have it too close to the edge. You want to make sure it's down a little so that you don't pull your ribbon right through. This one's down about 1/4 of an inch and right in the middle of the little chick, so it hangs nicely. It's not lopsided. Unless you want it lopsided, you can do that as well. But you just take your wooden dowel and you just twist your dowel through until it goes right through to the back side. And you want to twist it so it creates the hole. And then you're going to choose your ribbon. You can buy these little satin ribbons. This is 1/8 of an inch. And this is green. I have pink, I have white, I have a multitude of colors. And then you're going to decide what size you want your hanger. This is, let's see, this is probably this is about 4 inches long. And you're going to cut it in half, or I'm sorry, not in half, but you want to cut it off at the 4-inch mark. Take your wooden dowel again, and you're going to lay your silk ribbon or any yarn that you're using right over the hole, and use your dowel to push the satin ribbon through the hole. And then you want to grab it from the other side. And when it comes out the other side, you can take it and even it up, and then we're going to tie a knot. And it's just, you just take both of your strings together and turn it into one knot. And then what I like to do is I like to take my knot and pull it to the back side, and there you have it. You have your little hanging bunny, and that will go on our tree. You could put these on gifts. You can use these in your display trays in your kitchen for Easter. You don't have to make them into ornaments. I just wanted to show you the options of getting fake bakes without having to display them on the kitchen counter. You can display them anywhere that you'd like. And this is our bunny. Thank you again for joining me today at my Crafty Hen House, and I hope you enjoyed making this small little chick with me today in your own design, and use these on your kitchen counter. Put them in an Easter basket as a little decoration, or get yourself a miniature little Christmas tree like I have, and you can make it your seasonal tree for every holiday and make your own fake baked cookies as your decoration. So thanks again. Have a wonderfully blessed day. Until next time.